used. You can then have a look at when does it really come into picture. So basically in the context of, again, the software development, because that's what we're trying to look at. There are two aspects to it. One is the internal aspect of it within the team, within the organization. The one is basically about the external aspect of the customers, the users, and the stakeholders. So wherever you've got any aspect of an irregular flow of work, that is work coming in, but then it's not coming in through regularly or consistently, or there's work coming in, but it's not getting executed by the teams in the same way, in the same speed, right? That is definitely an indication for you that perhaps you need to have a deeper look at how you can structure the flow of work, and then how each of the size of work. And that's why it doesn't really work on its own by its own merit, but it really fits in beautifully with Scrum, because in Scrum we have what we call as story points, right? So we do story point, we do estimate the work in the context of the size of work within story points. So we can do 80 story points within this time box or within the sprint of 3 weeks. That's our capacity. And then we can actually try and work structure alongside. So that's how we can really look at how we can size the work, look at the productivity or the velocity of the teams, and then be able to plan our work accordingly. So again, that's the beauty of Kanban working with Scrum in the context of how they can work together in, hand in hand. And similarly, we've got different classes of service. It's not just one, but if you have got a product development to be done, okay, there's a product that is already there, you're working on that, you're making sure that you are improving that. And then the CRM system I was talking about. And on the top of it, you want to develop a website which would help as a front ending to your Salesforce, for example. So that's another completely new development work. And perhaps throw it into the mix of, let's say, you want to have 3 other products that you want to purchase from the market. So you have got 5 different products or pieces of work in the same time. One is a maintenance piece of work, another one is a new product development work, and a third piece of work is basically you're acquiring and basically the merging and acquisition of the products that are already there in the market. So how would you actually structure your work across these different streams and different completely unrelated activities? And that's again where Kanban could really come into help. And then back to this one, the work item type. Even this work item itself could be different, right? For example, when the Scrum, we know that it's the story. Each story is one type of a work item. A user story is the way how you define the work within Scrum. It could be a defect in some other project, right? There are a lot of defects already, and you're trying to fix the defects. So basically the second type of maintenance project could be the work item there is not a user story, but it's a defect. A defect is how you would define a work item. And a third piece could be, for example, a change request, right? So even the work item, the basic work item has got differences. So that's again where you can really use Kanban effectively, because you're not forced to just use stories only or defects only. You can throw everything in there in the mix. And then you can actually track a lot of rework, because that's what we were talking about, right? How you can catch the defect early on, so you can try and minimize the rework later. So that's again another advantage with how you can try and put Kanban to use. And then in the context of external facing, when it comes to customers, the users, obviously you would get a lot of requests from the customers in terms of, I want this, I like this feature. So basically these are requests either for like a wish list of new features, new things that need to be developed, something like what Sonos product, if you have heard about Sonos, they're into the home theater kind of system, where you can extend your home theater with a lot of different products from Sonos. So they've got a play bar, they've got a small little play 1, play 2, play 3 different speakers, and they've got a woofer. So Sonos, what they do is they would actually they've got their own user forum. So if you buy Sonos product, you can actually add another one, play 1, play 2. So you can completely build a completely full-fledged, not only a home theater system, but also a home music system across the entire rooms. So they've got multi-room facility and all that. So that's the product, and that's the kind of line of business they are into, Sonos. So they have this user forum. So if you have if you bought this, you say that I would like to have the Dolby system being played on this play bar, on the play bar. It is not supporting now, but I would like to have. At the moment, it's DTS, for example. I want to have a better quality of sound coming in from this products. Why don't you give me a Dolby support as well? Or sometimes they say that people say that I would like to have a mesh for this speaker because this is not really robust. It is not reliable. The current one is not keeping up, not of good quality because I keep moving home. So make it really robust and solid. Try and use a proper iron mesh or something like that. So these are all the requests and the wish lists, as what we call, from the customers, the existing customers and users of your product. So all of that you're trying to get in, and you're actually trying to prioritize. If for example, thousands of people, because Sonos is a multinational corporation with its products available everywhere in the world, you've got millions of people asking for one request. Obviously, that means that it is a most wanted, most sought after feature. So Sonos would actually put that as, for example, Dolby support as the high up in the system. The prioritization, again, the Moscow system would come in. So that's how we can actually try and prioritize the requests from their customers and then make it as a feature for the product. And then you can work on that to deliver the feature in the next release, in the next few sprints. So again, Kanban would come into that picture in terms of requests, how you can line up the requests and look at the different customer feedback.